Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. This is Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology. And as you can tell, I am driving right now. I'm not at my office. I'm off-site, in fact, heading into the Family Life Center because I've got a break for my next client, and that gives me time to bring you another wonderful episode right here on GoTarryn TV. Before I tell you who I'm bringing on, I'd like to ask everyone out there, if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, I'm in the heart of Buckhead right now on Peachtree Road, about a couple minutes away from where I need to be, but in a couple minutes I'm going to set up and I'm going to record two amazing guests. In fact, they are my favorite guests. I love them both, and again, they're amazing, so wait till you see who they are. I'll go ahead and tell you who they are. Let's start with ladies first. We got Natalie Joel, Living Life with Nat. She is the keto banting coach, and we also have the best self-defense instructor in the world, Mr. Anthony Segal of I Defend Krav Maga, and they are both actually in Johannesburg, South Africa. So it's a beautiful morning out here as I'm recording this in Buckhead, and it's a little later in the afternoon there in Johannesburg. So I can't wait to catch up with both of these individuals and have an incredible show here momentarily. So as I pull into the parking lot, I'm going to go ahead and let you go and remind you that with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, and it's your life. And again, don't go away, because as soon as I park and get the heck out of here, I want to see you back here on GoTarryn TV. See you in a second. Very good, thank you. So happy we were able to organize this today. So it's about what afternoon time where you guys are at right now? 4:30 about roughly?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what have you all been up to?
Some of us are going on to the holiday mode of Easter weekend and the Passover, but I've still got to get work tonight.
Oh, wow.
8.
You're dedicated.
It's like not a job really. It's like you love doing it. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And Natalie,
Nat, how
same
you
question.
doing?
How are you doing, Natalie?
Good, thanks. How are you doing? How are things going in Atlanta?
We're good, thanks. Everything's well here. You know, as Anthony mentioned, we do have the Passover weekend, the Joel family here, Josh and Malcolm and Lynette and everyone. And then we also, Easter is pretty big here as well. So right now, everyone's pretty much getting out of town for the holidays. Everyone's gone, it seems like. So that's really nice. The traffic's light, the gym is empty, and just seems like everyone's ready to celebrate and just be with their families.
That's great. That's great.
Tell me, how was your Mardi Gras?
That's right. That was the last time that Anthony I had talked was Mardi Gras. That seemed to be a big reason to party for people here. You know, in America, a lot of people have any excuse to drink. So drinking alcohol and get drunk.
Worldwide.
Yeah. So any reason to overindulge and eat and drink, but yeah, that's just silly. Here we have like a holiday every single day. Anything you could think of, we have a holiday or reason to celebrate.
Good.
Well, I think in my next life, I think I'm going to open a bar, because like you drink when you're happy and you drink when you're down, so you can always make money.
Isn't that the truth? Absolutely. You're so right. Yeah, you're
Anyway,
so right about that.
Yeah.
What is the Mardi Gras, Karen?
Oh, okay. So, you know, Anthony and I were talking last time that it's kind of a made-up holiday, I think, to some extent, because I think it's pretty big in a place called New Orleans, Louisiana, here in the United States, and it's once a year. It's sometime in March, I believe. So last month is when we were talking about it, and it's a big celebration where just the whole, you know, even though it's originated, I guess, in New Orleans, Louisiana, here in Atlanta and other places, it's something that they just do to go to the bars and have drinks and meet with friends and parties. So as I mentioned too, it just seems like every single weekend there's a reason to have some type of party, because not only is it a holiday weekend here, but I've already heard people planning, end of the school year parties, because those are coming up as well. Memorial Day weekend, that we have that here in the United States. I mean, we have Flag Day, we have Arbor Day. I mean, you name it. Like every single weekend, there's something. So it's pretty wild. But
You know what is good, that is getting back to normal, that people are happy again, they can get back into their routines, and it's so important that we feel normalized again, normal.
I couldn't agree more with you on that. You're right, because one of the the three of us have talked about this before, with how people have become depressed and anxious and quarantined, isolated, and such. So now that things hopefully will be coming back to normal, hopefully we'll see more people getting back into exercise and feeling healthy and eating right. But are you seeing that, as far as I guess the question goes to you both there in Johannesburg? Are people getting back into some kind of organized routine of normalcy? Do you see that?
I think there's been a little bit more step in the step of people getting to a bit more normalization, or the new norm of whatever that whichever way people take it. But yeah, I think we understand that, like, obviously society as a whole, with technology and things moving at such a rapid speed, from, like, we're talking to you in Atlanta over a cell phone, when I look at it and say, what will, my kids be doing, or Natalie's grandchildren be doing, and so forth, but the one thing that people, what the technology cannot take away from us, is human contact. And we as humans, we just have to be tactile. We have to reach out and see people and touch people and feel loved and want love. And it's very important. And, I think with COVID and the restrictions that it had, I think a lot of people did go into depressions of, like not seeing their partners and not seeing their friends, or their whatever social system that they work on. And I think it's getting back to it. And, you said, yeah, every weekend is a party. I rather party every weekend than bury someone every weekend.
Yeah, very well said, Anthony. You're right. Yeah.
So if you're partying for the right reasons, then carry on partying, but be safe in what you do.
Yeah, very, very good. How about yourself, Natalie? Same thing as far as what Anthony said. Would you concur?
We find that people are exercising more, but people are still very, very stressed, extremely. And they're just, a lot of them just can't cope with socializing again. I found that you want to visit people, put on your mask, what? They feel too stressed to put themselves back into routine of proper eating again, proper control of what they're doing. They're just letting go. So that, I think, still hasn't quite, I don't know if you're finding that, Anthony and Terry.
Yeah, there is, it depends on the social circle that I suppose each and everyone hangs around. Obviously, if you, like, say, I'm going to meet my mom at the retirement village, for just respect for the elderly, I must probably go from my car to her unit wearing a mask. But when I'm inside her unit, I take my mask off. But it's just a respect of, the elderly, and saying, okay, well, I'm just showing a courtesy to it. But now that they've lifted up the law that says that you don't have to wear a mask in public space. But the crazy thing that I still find amazing, and like, is that you wear a mask to get out of your car and walk into a shopping center and do your shopping, but you can get out of the car and walk through the shopping center and go into a fully packed restaurant and take off your mask and sit next to each other. It's like a 2-minute process of walking from your car through the mall into the restaurant, and then masks are off and everyone's socializing perfectly. Like, it's a joke. It's like, what are you doing? You know, if you're going to do one restriction, have it. If you're not going to do it, then drop the whole thing.
Don't you love bureaucracy, right? That's what it comes down to, just government politics.
Yeah.
What's the more situation with you? Sorry, Anthony.
You know, I must tell you, you know, I read a little Pasha every day, and every different day is a different thing. And, you know, one thing that resonated with me was, you know, there was a talk about a guy who's bumped into this one man, and he said to him, "How are you?" And he turned around and he said, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm old. I have to walk down 5 kilometers to get the water, and then I have to go to work and earn my bread, my day's work and everything like that." Weeks went past, and it went in, and he said, "How are you today?" And he said, "No, I'm great. I walked 5 k's, I got the water, brought it back to the house. I went into work and I earned my keep and everything." So what I'm trying to get to is the bottom line is it depends how you put life into perspective, where you can look at it and go, I'm old and I'm decrepit and I'm reaching out for assistance and I need a hand to do everything in life. I need you to help me carry the water. I need you to help me earn money. I need to earn money. I need help to support myself. Or you can look at it and say, thank God I'm 70 years old and I can still walk down, fetch the barrel of water, still put a hard day's work in and work. And I'm not dependent on anyone except myself to get through my day. So it's up to every single person to, you can either, what Nat was saying is that, like, you know, you can fall back into, okay, well, COVID messed us up and I can't get into the gyms. I can't eat properly. I can't do this. You're making excuses after excuse after excuse. Or you could look at it and say, life is good. I woke up, the first blessing, I opened my eyes, fantastic. I've got the strength in my arms to still carry the water. I've got the strength in my legs to still walk. And I've got the mind that I can still focus and understand and I can still work. So you can look at life as a negative, or you could look at life as a positive. And it's very important to change your ways and look at life as a positive, because it goes back to the guy who says and complains about the holes in his shoes until he sees a person without any shoes. You know, so better just respect yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself, and be grateful for the things that you're going into and working, and be positive about yourself and positive about life. You know, if you put out positive energy, you'll get positive energy. You put out negative energy, you will get negative energy. It's the same as when you look at it and go, well, you want wealth, surround yourself with wealthy people. You want to be poor, stay around poor people.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said, Anthony. You're right.
Sorry, Taryn. Like, you know, Nat, I must tell you, like, from a point of view of, like, Nat put the girlfriend into another business avenue this last week, and for another secret avenue of income. And, you know, she could have taken this and said, okay, whatever, and let it ride over her head. And she's taken it and she's driven with it. And, you know, she's done, like, I don't know, I think 22 sales, Nat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been in the last week, it's been a good, and once again, once she's selling, she's feeling positive about herself, and it grows and grows, and positive reads positive.
Yes. When people see you passionate about something and positive about something, then they want to be around you.
100%. 100%.
It's all about attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
I heard a talk recently that said, it's either a reason or an excuse. Everything's either a reason or excuse. You can say, I've put on so much weight with COVID. I just can't stand this COVID. Or you can say, that's your excuse. Or I've put on so much weight with COVID. My reason is I'm going to get back to gym. I'm going to get fit again. I'm going to lose the weight. So it's the same situation, you can either use it as a negative or the positive. It's also like perspective. Everything is how you see it. It's not it's not reality. It's how you translate that reality. And that's life. We've got to try and find positives in all the realities.
Yeah, no question about it. You're right. And how we react to it too. I'll give you a quick story that I saw as a catalyst, hopefully for a young girl. I remember we were at an amusement park, and you know, the big roller coasters that they have at these amusement theme parks. And it was getting ready to be our turn, and there was a group of girls. They were probably about 15, 16 years old, and they were getting in the seat. Now, one of them was rather large. She was morbidly obese, probably north of 250 pounds. So she gets in, and the attendant is trying to put the bar down, the little latch. It won't go on her. It won't click. And so as he's trying to do it, everyone else is kind of looking and sneering and laughing and just kind of pointing and saying, ah. And so they just can't do it. And they tell her, you know, for safety reasons, we can't let you go. I'm sorry. And she gets off and she starts crying. And I was thinking, I was like, gosh, that's so embarrassing. But in that same token, I was like, you know, that might have been maybe the best thing for that girl, because maybe this will be kind of a wake-up call for her to change her life and her attitude of the way she sees, you know, how we react to things. So for her, that might have been powerful enough to just tell her, hopefully, you know, maybe I'm going to do something about this. Kind of like you were saying, Natalie, just a few minutes ago, I'm going to change, and this would be my reason to change this now.
Can I say 1 second about that? I was that person. As you know, I've lost over 100 pounds.
Good example. Yep.
My children were mocked at school from their overweight mother. I broke a chair on the seat. The safety belts on the aeroplane were difficult to get up. So I understand that, lady. And I used to go to all the weight clubs to try and lose the weight, and to dietitians. And nothing worked. I was always hungry, and I was always desperate to eat. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that the food that we eat can trigger the things in our brain that make us more hungry. And it's only when I discovered keto that I realized that the avenue to lose the weight for me was not standard Western dietitian's way, but the ketogenic way of eating. So this poor girl might be struggling the same way, going to dietitian and weight clubs and drinks and things, and getting nowhere, and feeling her self-confidence is gone. What am I doing wrong? And I can tell you one thing, 95% of my clients have been through what I'm doing. They come and they sit down with me. It's like hearing my story being told by 100 people. They've all tried the same thing, and they've all got nowhere, and they've all lost their confidence, and they all feel terrible, and they all hide behind people when they have photographs done. They know that you don't have to say to a person, you are so fat and ugly and awful and obese. They know it, but they just can't shift that weight. So that's the thing, that people don't know the avenues. That's the thing.
You know, Nat, you can even extend it to from a point of view of a remedial, you know, and it goes to the dietitian, to the school teacher, to everything, you know, that's saying, I'm a triangle trying to fit into a round circle, you know. So it's textbook teaching, it's textbook scenarios, and the thing is if you want to, your child is remedial. Why? Because his mind goes out the window and he's not paying attention, because it's boring. You're not making life interesting for him, so therefore it's boring for him, because he's too clever for your class, but you're not prepared to expand your knowledge to give him something else, because you've got a way to teach, and that's it. And it's exactly the same as a dietitian. Well, you need to lose X amount of pounds. This is how you do it. This is your eating program. But why don't you sit down with that person and say, what is your life schedule? Do you wake up at 6 o'clock? Do you go to varsity? Do you go to school? Are you on the road as a rep? Have you got a place to warm up your food? Have you not got a place to warm up your food? What food can I don't like? You can't tell me, okay, listen, warm up your chicken and rice. I said, I'm in the car. I know that maybe not now, but maybe when my kids have cars, there will be microwaves in the cars and ovens in the cars, and you'll live in your car. But right now, I don't have a microwave in my car, so I can't warm up my chicken and my rice and weigh it on a scale and this, because my job doesn't allow it to. So you got to look at never mind textbook learning and watch, take an individual and listen to them. And there's a big thing about, are you listening to me or are you hearing me? Okay, because when you say, I'm listening to you and I want to lose weight, okay, fine, every patient wants to lose weight, every client wants to lose weight. But if you start hearing me and listening to my needs and hearing my needs, what I need to do, you can work out the best program for me.
Excellent.
And that's a big thing. A lot of people listen, but they don't hear. They want to listen to what they want to know, and that's it, but they don't want to hear you. And it goes back to the story of like the teacher turns to the student and says, you know, you're my favorite, best client, you know, you're my best student. And then 5 minutes later, he's talking to another student and he says, you know, you're my best client. And it says, and the student comes up to me and says, but 5 minutes ago, you told me that I'm your best client and I'm your best student. He says, yes, for those 5 minutes that I was with you, you were my best client. You were my only client. Nothing else mattered. I wanted to spend the time with you. And that's what I did.
That's good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that's really, that's very, very good.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I love you lots, Taryn. Now put Natalie on the phone. Nat, I love you lots. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about this at the very beginning of the call. I just remembered what I wanted to bring up, but it's about the fact of how, you know, I think you touched on it, Anthony, how the personal touch will never go away, that even we have Zoom and FaceTime and Skype and everything else. But about 20 years ago, when I was early in my personal training career, so this is going back around like 2002, I remember that one of the fitness centers I worked at, and I was, again, only a personal trainer of, I don't know, 1 or 2 years at that time. And this fitness center had these machines that had these basic computer screens on them, and they would do everything for you. They would count for you. They would even clap and say, good job. And they would even like tell you, watch your form. Okay, let's go to the next exercise. And it was really interesting because the manager of that time, I remember, said, yeah, you know, personal trainers are not going to exist in about 5 years or less. They said, you guys will be obsolete because the robots, these machines are going to take over. And it kind of scared me at that point. I was like, wow, because I was almost thinking, do I need to look for another career path? And here I am 20 years later, and I'm busier than I ever have been. And I think, you know, like we've been talking about here, some of these different subjects that we've broached as far as attitude and perception and someone to motivate you, like what you both do with your students and your clients. I think that's so important. You're not going to find that from an inanimate machine or a robot, right?
Sure. 100%.
As you say, the personal touch is the bottom line.
Yeah.
Personal, face-to-face, human contact.
Right. Yeah. And we all are human. We all, you know, make mistakes. I know, using me as an example, I like to indulge. Sometimes I'll have my sweets, or there'll be a day where I just don't go to the gym, even if I can. And I'm just like, I'm not going to make the time today, but nobody's perfect. So that's a good thing, is that we could be very open with our own clients that we work with and tell them that, hey, you know, we don't expect you to be perfect, but at least they could strive to do their best. And that's all we can ask of them.
You've got to be human to your clients and say, I have cheat days. I have cheat days. I don't do the gym. I'm not perfect, and it's okay not to be perfect. Okay, and you know, what did someone say? There's never a bad day at gym. A bad day is a day that you don't go to gym. But you know what? It's also, you've got to listen to your body. If your body's telling you, listen, you need to have the oils, the grease, the no gym, just the vegetation of just sitting down and watching a movie and just not doing anything. Listen to your body, because the next day you'll go in with a bit more attitude, a bit more pump, because your body's had that 18 hours to relax or whatever like that. You know, I heard something about, do you wake up to work, or do you work to wake up?
That's good.
So a lot of people, I have to wake up to go to work. But us three sitting around here, I don't think that's our case. I think we wake up to work because we love what we do. We're passionate about it, and we want to pass that passion onto our clientele of giving them the hopes and the dreams and the passion that they can aspire to and just be better than they were the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very
Well
true.
said, Anthony.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you, otherwise, yeah. So holidays, Nat, you're away, hey?
No, I'm back.
Are you back? Oh, okay.
We
All
went
right.
to, we went to a certain area, and the day that we left, it started flooding. I don't know if you heard about the floods in South Africa.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry about that, Natalie. Oh, wow.
Absolutely frightening what's happening there.
Oh, gosh. But you guys are okay and safe right now.
Yeah, we're okay.
Oh, thank goodness. Anthony, did that affect you or your business or home?
Well, it hasn't affected my business per se because of my clientele being in Joburg, but Durban has had tremendous uncontrollable rain that has destroyed many homes and lives.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wow.
Yeah, the rain has really put a lot of people in destitute, and courier companies and bridges closed and cars floating down the road, and yeah, been terrible. But there's it is amazing because unfortunately when tragic hits either an area or a home or a country and it's amazing how people put aside their differences irrespective of color, race, religion, or whatever, and at the end of the day it's a human soul. So if you're seeing someone in need, they reach out. Never mind if you don't like your neighbor, you see someone battling in that, you reach out, and it just shows you, irrespective of the world and how rapid it's moving with technology, we still need human contact, irrespective of the way we feel about each other, if we're angry or whatever. When someone is hurting, it's a natural part of our DNA to reach out and help.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I don't have the National Sea Rescue Institute in America. Do you have such a thing?
I have not heard of it, Natalie. Can you say it one more time? That doesn't sound familiar to me. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's only South Africa, but it's a group of 99% volunteers.
Okay.
Who set up in coastal towns there to help rescue people who are drowning or are out of even ships. When they have people who are ill, they need them to be fetched to take to hospital or various things. So my son-in-law is very involved in the Durban one, and he managed to get a base in Umhlanga, and he managed to also get somebody, an organization, to donate a boat.
Oh, wow.
So when we were there this weekend, it was interesting enough, it coincided that they had this opening of the base on Sunday.
Wow.
Monday, with the boat and everything, Monday, the flooding started, and you won't believe it, but the boat was used on land because the land has now become rivers.
Oh, my goodness.
And they used the boat to go and rescue people and to help things with it. And they had the helicopter. Has been working like 24 hours in the last few days. National Series. So that's what you're saying, Anthony, human contact. People pulled together, volunteers came together. There's National Sea Rescue Institute, the people there, they're all volunteers, they've all got a job, but they do this, because they love helping people. And it's incredible how much they've done to help things.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, well, I'm just happy to hear that you're okay, Natalie. Thank God.
Yeah, Nat, it goes back to prayer, blessings, whatever happens in life, it is like Hashem's way, meeting people, talking to people, things happening. And it goes back to, like the man standing on the rocks and the tide's coming in, and he said, and a boat comes past and it says, save me. And he says, no, I'm waiting for God to save me. Don't worry. The boat goes on. Next minute, a helicopter drops down the rope and says, here's a rope, catch onto the rope before the tide comes in and smashes you against the rocks. No, don't worry. God will save me. And the waves come in and smash him against the rocks, and he dies, and he goes up to heaven and he says, God, I don't understand how I put everything in you. I believe in you. I love you. I give you all my all. And you let this happen. And God's reply was, who do you think sent the boat, and who do you sent the helicopter? So, you know, when people come into contact with people, it's for reasons. It's why we've met Tarryn. It's why I met you, Nat, and how relationships form and build to bigger things, bigger than we actually know. And it's just amazing to see communities putting together and helping each other because it's the right thing to do as a human being.
Excellent. Very good point there, Anthony. And on that note, that is a wonderful way to conclude here, as I'm being told that our time is coming up. But before we sign off here, I want to thank both of you. This 30 minutes flew by so quickly. Can we please start, ladies first, Nat, to you. Let's go ahead and plug your contact information, please. And then we'll have Anthony do so, and we'll sign us off here. Natalie.
Hi, I'm a keto coach, as I mentioned earlier. Through this way of eating, I have lost over 100 pounds, and my husband as well. And he's reversed his diabetes. And I was so passionate about this, I became a keto coach. You can find me on Instagram on Living Life with Nat. You can find me on Facebook, Living Keto with Nat, or Natalie Joel. And you're more than welcome to join my groups or message me from Facebook. Thank you.
And Anthony.
Very cool. Anthony from I Defend, Krav Maga. We're here to empower people, never mind the age, from the age of 7 up to whatever. You're never too old to learn. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Look after yourselves over the Easter and over the Passover. And Tarryn, thank you very much, and have a good Easter weekend. And carrying on having those parties that you do, all for the good and right reasons.
There you go. Very good. Thank you so much, both of you. And to you, Anthony and Natalie, happy Easter, happy Passover. I appreciate both of your time. It's wonderful knowing you. And as you mentioned, building these fun relationships with you. You both are just two of the most awesome people, and love you both mutually as well, too.
Thank you. Covered yourself well. Look
You're
after.
my favorites, both of you.
Look after.
Right.
All the
Thank
best.
you again, and we will see you next time.
Love
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye then.